Welcome to Amazonia Communication Network, the most educational and anti-colonial revolutionary TV in sub-Saharan Africa. This primetime event will begin momentarily. We urge our viewers to stand by.
At ACN TV, your lies will be crushed, your narrative will be buried, and your revised and distorted history will be exposed. ACN TV, focused, uncensored, undiluted.
Fellow Amazonians, good morning, good afternoon, good evening across the globe. I hope we all will do well, and I can't forgive my continuous assessment of the revolution as it go ahead. We'll be called upon. It is our duty and responsibility for continue for educate the people them, and for continue for make sure so people then get the right information and for continue for ensure say people not be derailed from the truth. They not be derailed with lies. Something prompt me for make this video today. I get for address some lies, some narrative where they want push out for people. They're extremely important. So make we continue to point out the people that are amongst we will they be totally, they don't be implanted as infiltrators, as traitors, sellouts, betrayals, Trojan horses amongst we. We give a continue to point them out and shine more light on them. Before I continue this video, I would like to make we get we will do we'll get national anthem. We'll sing a national anthem. It'll be very critical. We don't listen to anthem. Now just give me a minute. Make I put this video for a particular for a proper context. We get for continue for debunk the lies where people they don't pay them for ensure so they maintain with enslavement. We will continue to expose their lies. I come purposely for this video because I watched something online where it be very relevant and very important. Some will talk about it. Okay. I watched some video this afternoon where it catch my attention where I want to talk about it. The lies the way with people where some infiltrators and Trojan horses they continue to perpetrate them inside this revolution. We go for continue to hold their feet and call them out immediately. The error where AGOVC, ADF, the vanguard for this revolution don't make them for the past now say I will not allow when things that happen we make the error for not come out to tell people them the truth. So they don't cement a lot of lies and dirt in this revolution where it take now time for people to peel out select the truth from the lies. We don't ensure say every step of the way when they try to derail this revolution will confront them for any way, shape or form. I want to play some audio where I watch them this afternoon where I want to analyze them, make a put a see them. I want to talk specifically for Ground Zero and for fighters of Ground Zero. We'll make a play this video, no gonna see them.
We had an investigative team, and they were women. There were 2 women and 1 man who were involved in the investigative team, and there had been a kidnapping attempt against them, which raised a red flag for me because there was only one person who knew where they were, and that was Ellie Smith. She thought that she could trust him. She let him know what she was doing. There was a kidnapping attempt. And so I wanted them to be safely back from the field before I had any further communication with Ellie Smith. Again, I reached out to Ayaba Cho because I hadn't realized at the time that there was that connection. I'm sorry, am I confusing you? Believe me, this was a very complex matter. Going into the field and researching all of this was very complex. But I was
it's not confusing at all. I'm interested to know, when you reach out to Ayaba Cho, you had not really known much about him. What did you get? What did you want to get from him at that time?
Well, I had communicated with him a few times previously. I wanted to learn more about the Ambazonian struggle. I wanted to know what was going on there. I was able to connect with him, and that was why I reached out to him, because I knew that Ellie Smith had a connection with ADF and with AGOC.
Fellow Ambazonians, make I tell us one thing. Sometime we did for this war. Some time ago, we did for this war. When you see white man he talk, you feel say everything will come for white man in mouth. Not true. You see this so-called infiltrator Cristiano. He don't go pick up some Oyibo from some sites because they don't work on with psyche. Where they think say they don't know say anytime when white man he talk with the feels not true. That time don't pass. We would call the air and say I am white and I say so and it holds true. That time don't pass. When I think so, when I see white man, it tell anything will come from a mouth that true. Look, he don't go pick this other funny looking woman for can't stand. For UC. For lie for Ambazonians. It claim now, they claim the connection they tell create and I say wait. See Ellie Smith and Ayaba Cho get something in common. Ambazonians for ground and the one for diaspora. Una know best. Una know what to be right. Now the insinuation this way this Cristiano, if you want try for put them for una face. For try to create that connection or he try to bring this woman. When you know the phone I say we white, we black people don't always get this mindset say when I see white man it talk that true. Now that mentality, that psyche where Cristiano don't go bring this fraud. Me can stand for talk say it create a connection between Ayaba Cho and Ellie Smith and Yaoundé. We never for that time. That time don't pass where anything woman talk not true. That time don't pass where when I see women that they shake. Now no people. You don't get any decency or dignity and integrity. We now move naive for that thing. You don't carry this fraudster. Come put that on a front. So me tell create a connection between Dr. Ayaba Cho, Ellie Smith and Ayaba Cho. They don't get nothing in common. Ambassadors will now open their eyes when I begin to see. How many times Cristiano don't come stand he talk about attacking like the Cameroon? We now go look all the videos them for ABC. Every time now constantly for attack the backbone of this revolution, for attack ADF, attack Ayaba Cho. Now you go bring this funny Oyibo, funny looking Oyibo. We can't tell we talk say Ellie Smith, it gets something to do with ADF, it gets something to do with Ayaba. He don't even know what he talk. Confused individual like this woman. So according to he, because they don't, you know, Cristiano na black and person way, he don't work on my side way. He believe say now you can't put one go front una. That means when I hear say anything we want talk that true. This woman a con woman and a liar. Now a con woman and a liar. You know, they always believe say, you know, this mindset where we don't always get a black person say when we see white man, now the gospel truly they talk. That time don't pass. When I open our mind, that time don't pass. Make a man understand so one thing. A lot of us Amazonians I will live with these people that will know them. We know who they be. Now that mindset where they don't we back home where they don't inculcate and force up our minds. The colonialists, the slave masters, and they force up our mind. When they make a man feel say anything will come from my mouth not true. Now on that premise where Cristiano will bring this woman, we can talk up lies, to create a scenario say Ayabacho, you don't even know whether Ayabacho they under ADF, no be managed by Ayabacho. Ayabacho is managed the A Gov C. The ADF managed by Benedict Kwa. If you don't know. So it's okay that kind of insinuating Ayabacho. It gives something to do Eddie Smith. I give something to do Yaoundé. Ambassador them. Una know Ayabacho go down. Inaugurate will fight us them. Una know Benedict Kwa if he sign the memorandum, we will start the attack for like Cameroon. Una know very well. The very Cristiano, he don't stand for podium with Dr. Ayabacho. He prays for New York. He talks and they lie on this for Ambazonia. He talk all good things about it. But when I see it, he turn now for toxicity. This man not consistently. You don't know how many times Cristiano don't talk about attacking Yaoundé. How many times? Every time we come play, he must cook over one line. The blood for picking their hands them. The blood for picking them. It is for hate. For Bui. Ye and that gangster them. Because they will county. And Sako them. When they kill picking the Bui. You not go forget and go hold them accountable and responsible. They continue to play around with una. This liar, we can lie tell una security. When I give him money, me carry jailbreak. When I get tsunami in the car, what ever happen? The money they take on the it is spending. Yeah, open our minds. This man be out for an agenda, a program for disrupt this revolution. Because it don't take Oyibo put out front. Say you man talk there according to una now. Now that kind of thing where we don't internalize the facts when Oyibo talk not true. Most of us who West will live with them. Who know them in and out, know them to and fro. So now that psyche, that psychological, problem we don't face like black people the way for Africa way. They don't dumb down our mentality way. Now when now so a man start to talk when I feel saying I mean originally it play on a psyche. For go bring Oyibo make can talk so that me they feel say anything you go away man are true. The biggest fraudsters, some of them are the biggest fraudsters and the biggest liars in this world. Now watch.
Not yet put together that AGovC and ADF were most likely involved in the same activities that Ellie was involved in. I had not taken that next step yet when I informed him about what we had learned about Ellie Smith.
So, again...
And then as soon as Ellie Smith got back to me, I realized that it must have been Ayabacho who reached out to him.
Well, yeah, he said as soon as Ellie Smith get back to me, you realize that Ayabacho must have gotten back to you, to Ellie Smith. So it insinuates say Ellie Smith he be involved in kidnapping, and then Ayabacho get in touch with Ellie Smith, and then Ellie Smith reach back to you. When I hear lie woman, she don't concoct about for day. He say he realize. Which part between Ellie Smith, which part with Ellie Smith get with Ayabacho? They be in total parallel. Because you don't bring Oyibo put up on our face. Then Oyibo you talk any kind of you talk. So they won't have believe in what you talk. So most people are big liar them. Now the biggest con people than some of them. So no one understand. We will debunk some of them. That time don't pass way. We don't hear say man to continue in the believe in the gospel truth. That time don't pass. We look for different era now for this world. We now open our mind. You don't kind a con woman who can use the call of a skill for fighting on a day.
That was the point at which I told my people in the field that they needed to get back immediately.
What did Ellie Smith want to get from you when he reached you, when he contacted you instead of Ayaba?
I don't know, because if I open the message, he gets a notification that I received the message, and I wanted to make sure my people got back in the field quickly before we had any sort of confrontation.
So, Mika told you that some of the arms leaving Yaoundé were going to leaders of the separatist movement.
Yes, apparently the arms were going in both directions. There were arms that were from the BIR that were going to the separatist movement. And then there were the arms that were being purchased from those who agreed to drop their weapons and go to the DDR systems who were then going to the BIR.
So, when I hear how this woman they openly lie, say arms you go for separatist movement from Yaoundé, then arms you go for the BA. That's you give weapons for separatists, for fight the government from Yaoundé. I ask Ambassador them, una the one, una put una brain them together. Yaoundé way, we fight them. The ADF and the AGOVC fight them. The grandfather for self-defense, ADF. They insinuate say some weapons in the camp. According to the trial create the weapon they come from Yaoundé. Enter for ADF in hand. With the same ADF user now to fight the enemy. Una ambassador as una know General Ivor. Soldiers for ground una know General Ivor he work. Now we build General Ivor and form ye. The ones that they do for different camps and now across the territory una know way to way ADF don't do for inside this territory. Dr. Ayaba Chogo inaugurate fighting for start for fight like the Cameroon. Dr. Ayaba Chogo the very time with them, Chris Anu them. It's a secret them. They run away, they call we from ADF and AGOV, say terrorists. Because we start fighting like the Cameroon. They apologize for they apologize for Yaoundé. Send them condolence. Now we AGOV ADF. We stand, we say we will fight them and we will take them out of the territory. We stand, say we will defend the people them. Now the very people they don't turn up and talk say the people they fight for defend una, for protect una. They do not insinuate say Yaoundé take weapon gang for we will fight Yaoundé. The same Ayabacho if he stand the only leader. When children make it up the call terrorists, the only leader will change the state the language. For call we say will be secessionists. The only leader. We talk for route, I talk for the whole world. So to fight for independence, I will take them out one after another till they come out. While the other they be shake for their boots, they run. Some of them call that we terrorists. Now they don't can't I talk to the leader, they fight for the fight against the revolution. We not open our mind them. Make you not take or you will put on our face. Now the thing say, oh, now the gospel truth. Some people they lie. Lies away. The mistake will always constantly make and say, we feel that some people now how to call them? Na a standard for morality. We feel that some people now how to call them? We use it like a gauge for truth, for reality. Some are liars, thieves. They don't implant a lot of these people then for disrupt we. This woman now a slave master, so I call him. He come to play the part to continue to maintain we inside slavery. Now a role that can play. We are not being fooled with the color of his skin. We not get out of that mindset. Because if you use the woman color for because we don't always believe say everything come for you when a gospel truth. So according to bringing us and you can talk them when I believe in what we talk. We not know the truth. Dr. Ayaba Chogo, only man will take the bullet for chest for chest for now. When all man be run the enter hold them, we will not take out and down them for territory. We will take out the deal. We will take out other stock, Korean stock to the territory. They were back, they were running away. Dr. Ayaba Chogo said, I will take all of you out, one after another, till you will leave for territory. He built an army. The army train una. Train the other ones them. Oh, now even all the so-called for so-called IG. Una know who's on a training come out. Una know so on a person so comes them. Una know the truth. We not allow this man to continue to manipulate una. I be telling us they go do all kind of tricks. They will bring all kind of tricks for confuse una. When you face that tough part for the revolution now, their biggest misinformation to break the backbone for this revolution. They tried to destroy the man Ayaba. He passed them. The try to come after they pay people and send them abroad. The try to come after the organization. He passed them. He only grows stronger. He decapitate the leadership for ADF for ground. Will build new one. He decapitate the second time. Will build new one. Ambassador na open na eye them. Na open na ears them. Una open na eye, open na ears them. His hand will continue to pull this corn. He don't go bring one of the people they tell conjure una pull una back into slavery. He want to use the complexion for producing my skin for food because they always get that mindset. Say everything we both talk that gospel truth. We don't openly see how this one the life on her face. Christian don't play on her psyche. We go bring white woman when white people can't show it up. We don't believe say okay they don't talk true. No be for this generation. Ambassadors them. We live with a lot of these people them out. We know them. Now because that dumbed down mentality don't put up for mind back home for Africa. For continue to suppress we, subjugate we. From day one when they enter thought we come in contact with we. They don't constantly get one mission to suppress, oppress, and subjugate we for maintain the status quo for continue to exploit we. Then they mentalize that and they be dumbed down on mind with psyche. Where anytime when you see or you feel say, when I vision over one room professors them. Ambassador I know that I talk are true. When I vision over one room, professors them, big people, black people them. They will talk, they don't take them serious. So small people come up on your skin. You can't start a class talk one thing and have people like you. You really believe in they will not own people, they will not the masters for that art, than a color for skin. You don't believe it. You know, the one runner for back person way, now you become competition with skin. Now believe now they get the gospel truth. We know them. We don't allow this fraud make it play for land. Never. We don't believe this fraud way Christian one pull on. Go bring a slave master. The people don't tell control, maintain the status quo. For maintain with enslavement. Go bring a example that was screen the talk for people then who not believe what you talk. I'll go ahead about their lies.
Going in both directions.
Now,
you have a very complex situation over there.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to untangle it to get a clear picture of what was going on there. What we've been able to establish is that Eli Smith was an agent who was going in between Mika. Mika was his agent, I guess, who was then talking to the fighters. Am I correct? Amazonian fighters.
Yes, you're correct. And Micah apparently is one of several agents whose role is to lure fighters from the bushes and into the DDR centers. And as you know, there are more and more NGOs popping up whose mandate is to do that as well.
Right. Now, tell us about your discovery. This is very important, and let me get to what you write about it, talking about the mass grave that apparently was uncovered in.
So we will see how he played the game to throw Ayabacho in name inside this whole thing with that woman. For dirty in name, we don't pass that level for this revolution. We don't pass that level of this revolution, Ambassadors. I want to ask Una, Cristiano, according to the type of creating the scenario, this corn star, this fraudster, this woman, a fraudster, a corn woman. He want to create a scenario for throw Ayabacho in him inside the whole mix. For create a connection between Ayabacho and Ellie Smith. For create that impression, let's say they get anything in common. Ellie Smith has a mission. Ellie Smith, he will work for you only. The mission of a move fighter to the ground from field through. That's a mission. But Ellie Smith no get no connection or interaction with ADF or AGOV-C. Nothing. Maybe they confused between the AGC way Christian can me from with Ellie Smith with the AGOV-C. We want to change the name to AGOV-C because we understand the tricks, but they want to bring them in. But change the name AGOV-C. Cristiano, how often Cristiano talk about it? He talk about simply attack the Republique of Cameroon. How often? Very few times. I want to ask you something, Amazonians. This man, what did he try to insinuate? I want to ask you now. I try to put now just one thing, slow and steady. The tool way we don't apply them for build like Republique of Cameroon for territory. I want to see us now. I want to play this one. Now just one of the works in this.
Today, on the 6th of August, 2021, the ADF Bamina Brigade, under the leadership of Dr. Chiu Ayaba, and then that the Kanang so. And now the Kanang. Second, the last one. Ready. Last year we wake up. And that's all. And that.
They don't kill all them. Don't kill them.
That one at defense, now the ADF unit. So I mean that the only lethal urban warfare unit who don't get our territory. The only lethal urban warfare unit who don't get them. The Bamenda unit, Bamenda Brigade, the ADF Bamenda Brigade. Now part of their work that. I don't need to tell now more about what the Bamenda Brigade only do for town. We don't need to know more. Now the enemy that way, the area of the attacker, just one. We be tell now, we will initiate pop production. We launch another tough, the TTOF. We be tell now say we go take this people out of our streets. We go move them for roads. We be tell now before do them. We specifically, I don't distribute the technology across the territory. I want to see the outcome, the benefits. We work on strategy, objective, and results. More is still come. I want to ask you, Ambazonians, we are not fall for this con game where infiltrators, thieves, infiltrators, thieves, Trojan horses. Their main sole aim now to disrupt this revolution, the backbone for this revolution. We will continue to indicate now. The insinuation we try to create and we go talk through Ayabacho in name is like go bring Oyibo, put up on our face. Make one of the few say wait till you come with a lie. I mean that's true. Some people they lie. They lie. And they will always get this belief back home. Across the black man psyche, say Oyibo na the moral compass for the world. We live with some of them. We know them. We know how they twist things. We understand them very well. You can't bring up for create the impression say weapons they come up from Yaoundé. Go for some of the separatists, their arm, their forces them. If it be that other maybe the Atanganji boys them or whoever, but not throw Dr. Yabacho in name inside it. Concern. Chris Anu, we don't see you for what you will be. We know you for what you will be. We understand that dirty game you want to play. You go take one Oyibo, you think say the complexion for his skin, you can't play all put a psyche. No be this century, no be this decade, no be this generation. Now they never again generation this. You know go play that dirty for Ambazonians. That era for say I am white and I say so and it goes through, it don't pass. It don't pass. No be that era this. No be that generation this. No go use skin color. For can't try to teach you play up with intelligence. We go debunk you at every step of the way. That small con game, that dirty job we want to pull her out. With the Siam. You go bring a slave master with the intention of control, maintain the status quo for suppression. You can't fool people in there. Because the psyche for people then I say, we don't always see why my say everything we talk like gospel truth. That time don't pass. We live with a lot of them. Some they lie. Pass the word lie itself. You get someone in a good one there. But some they lie. Now ordinary people like una. So I don't believe this con game way Chris Andrew want to pull on me. Una know the man Dr. Yabacho. He get a history for this revolution. When I know Mongo Bridge will go down and you put them down. It's a fight you want. Mongo Bridge go down with Naya and team put them down. The very Chris Anu is time he praised Dr. Yabacho for DC. Call it lion man. He heap all praises for ye. Now do I insinuate now say the very Dr. Yabacho the work with them.
Really good. I really don't need to introduce him, but you know him, you've seen him,
He believed in combat. I didn't hear you. Black power. Put your hands together and welcome to
the guy who connect with Ellie Smith. Dr. Yabacho, the only lion. When they will run away. When we start the fight, they kill these gendarmes and they abuse our territory. The so-called leaders, they hold that, they talk their tail for their lives, they run away. Now only you stand for front owner. You stand for front of the wall, tell them, say, if you out for protect people, I need to take more of them out. Leader when they take out, they start break down the colonial structures, take out deals and the rest. The leader where he don't stand, he define a position for this revolution. The leader where his system, his structure, you don't put that in place to be impeccable. Whenever you hear any rupture or dismemberment for your organization, now you form the backbone for this revolution. You don't give any space for lies, insinuation, and all that dirty game. People they don't shit down, they act like Trojan horses. They spend their whole time. You know how many times the man attack like Republique Cameroon? How many times? His whole life now for attack the Abacho, attack the ADF. How many times don't tell me the key fighters at the ground? How many times you don't even kill? I don't talk. You don't kill fighters at the ground. You fight now on fighters or you fight now on like Republique Cameroon. General, I would die for their hand. They will take something now for their hand. People in this prison, Cristiano, I get clear evidence for you, your involvement for the Calabar 6. I get clear evidence. Now you in particular, you coordinate. Here the cash picking for Calabar. This man now a Trojan horse and infiltrator with a mission for destroy this revolution. Be unfortunate, they fight and they fight on other structure. They don't know the gist. They don't get the grasp the gist for what happened for up. We'll continue to expose them. Now, with duty and our responsibility, say we go match them mano to mano as they lie, we expose and they go. Capo Daniel don't do it ever since. From the moment they start lie, say, you know, they go for decolonization, whatever. Capo expose them. The moment they lies, they go jailbreak prison system. They continue to siphon money for undermine the revolution. That time don't pass. No give any space for continue all these lies. The insinuation of that video they out now for claim to create a link between doctors. I want to ask you say be very logical. So it was to come up for Yaoundé, where they fight to clear down a rebellion. They can't pass anything on separatists their hands. They want to call separatists their hands. And then they use again to fight Yaoundé. We not open ahead them. We for the aid of ADF, we for ADF, we buy weapons them. Fighters for ground, when I hear the kind of thing so when I believe. When they go for the various sources, they go buy material, they buy them. When you see ADF the material, how they call it, Grandpa, you see material they will come out. I want to ask you, Grandpa, you continue for the fight all the kind of structure. When they lie blatantly in your face, and they ask you, Grandpa, you know how we go buy material, like for buy material for sources them. You know. Fight when they come and say when they fight all this kind of system where they constantly live on our face when they see the lies every day. When I say when they fight on that structure, they fight for una. Even the World Bank report don't do some days that they show because they fight now for federation. And they ask the life for Grandpa. You know so we go buy material. You know where we go buy material. And they ask the life for other people for other places. Now no say we go buy material. Some of them don't put on material them. Then this type, you carry insinuations of material come up we come inside some separatists that leaders them. Then you can take Dr. Yawa training try inside. So if people do them for we. It makes sense for una. For you say my check or play with the fight for queer revolution. The rebellion can't try again for the very people there. For fight the same system back. It's okay to between Ayamacho, Ellie Smith, and Yaoundé. We are not fall for that dot here, not for that con. We continue to expose mano to mano, step by step as we go. The vanguard for this revolution, the EGOC, the defense vanguard and ADF, will not allow anybody to delay this revolution. Work hard at Chris Anu, try hard. Trojan horse infiltrator. The first person goes stand for the wall of shame for Amazonia. We'll get 2 wall of fame, wall of shame. You'll be the first person that will come up wall of shame. You are picking the Al-Qaeda cross, the Al-Qaeda disgrace. How many of them they kill fighters on the ground? Kill sorts of Amazonian fighters. Will not they kill them? Kill how they call it AMA fighters. Kill Sokadef fighters. Kill ADF fighters. Will not open their mind the Amazonians them. If this man fight for una liberation, he will be called to kill other fighters on the ground. Kill ADF. Kill Sokadef. Kill AMF. Kill a sort of Amazonia. Why did he talk to kill that genuine liberation units? Because they fight for the revolution. What about not expose for now? Some they fight for the fight, they counter the revolution, they fight for federation, not for the independence. Open up your minds, see the truth. We don't give that space for anybody to derail this revolution. We are ready to shed our blood and give our all for a free Amazonia. Please, I know work hard. You'll get more and more frustrated as you continue to lie openly for broad daylight. We know who you be, we know your mission. I want to ask Amazonia, how many times this man on talk about a coordinated, concerted effort to fight like Republic Cameroon? How many times you don't talk about him? Go look at all the videos. 90% all the time, most of the time, I attack ADF, attack the Kayabacho, attack ADF. The same man who stands scream, say lion of the desert for DC, lion of the desert they come for talk. When Ayabacho one can make address, now you address it that way. The same people. I want to ask now even for abroad. Una know the Ayabacho, una know how it galvanized. Which part of the country where they don't talk to one good commission of less Ayabacho no day? Now Africa. Now the ground zero. Might not go put forces for ground zero. When you train the force to put up there, we are in Nigeria. You can't come to Amazonia, Unabino. Daddy. Which country if you know Athena? Now South Africa go galvanize people them for there. Now the US, now Canada, now Europe. Then the same leader, but they can't stand it tell when I say he work against my revolution. Open up the mind. Think. This man be out for something else. Because I don't know be out for this revolution. He don't be out for independence. You don't allow you to play that game. That side, that can't play all on a psyche. You don't take Oyibo, kind of try to create some fake narrative. So when I believe it. We live with some of these people, we live to love them. We know them. We don't fall prey for that. It be so unfortunate say some of us back home, they don't so suppress, subjugate the mindset where they make me feel say Oyibo na moral compass for the world. They make me feel say anything Oyibo talk na true. They be lie, some lie like fish. You don't believe that crap. You shake na brain come out. This one at 21st century. And they never again generation this. Independence now or resistance forever. Everything we don't touch, this guy don't go attack him. We go create a union. We go form and we go register ourselves for UMPO. For gain experience, to see how we liberate ourselves. They attack him. We go now try to create an alliance with the Basque. They attack him. We create an alliance with Somaliland for learn how they begin their independence. They attack him. Which they don't give them, which they don't produce them. That corn game with the clear on currencies for Swiss. Una know the interest, the same place where probably they sleep for the same Swiss where they suck all their money. The same Swiss where they want all their chocolate, one all cook of chocolate. Now the very people that we in bed with like Republique Cameroon and like Upobia. The one can play una. Like the Republique never commit. Biana never commit. We also need a an independent body. we go stand. If they really genuine, I don't talk say the egg of sea when it is time. All ambassadors will be fully involved. All hands on deck. No man will be more senior for ambassador past any person. To the last people born for road, to what level in the villages, to cities, all will be ambassadors of equal identity. No man will feel to be more of ambassador person than ambassador. When the time reach for you to negotiate or to fight the way out, all will be informed, all will be a part of it. I always talk at the end of my video say, we go reach for ambassador, we go reach for Boya, crawling, kneeling, running, rolling together to go reach for Boya. Go for Boya. Crawling, running, kneeling, whatever. We will hold hands together. Woodman or whatever will speak. We enter Boya together. Because army, you not go fool people anymore. You not go lie again for people anymore. You go call out your lie every step of the way. We are not see Oyibo feel say Oyibo na to get how do you call them moral compass, the gospel truth. We don't be damaged mentally. We will feel say when we see Oyibo talk na truth. So you don't go bring, you don't eat the child play on a psyche. Go bring Oyibo, me can talk, me can spew lies. Remember, you get a few good ones, you get the good ones, but remember, they be expert for con job. So now the best for 1 of them. So they go bring the image. You can't use them for fight to say yeah anything go for now. When I believe not true. We for diaspora will leave some of them. I know the game with the player. I don't believe that lies. That hype we can create. I'm not going to talk about this thing because some reason anyway when they talk, they say the stick. To put their mind there. So now no. Now Cristiano an infiltrator, a Trojan horse, and a thief, and a derailer to this revolution. Will continue to attack you as it be. Continue to call it out for which way it be. Ambassadors, now stay sharp, razor sharp, stay focused. I ask una soldiers for ground. Una know the truth. Una know the truth. Una know what we General I stand for. Una know what we ADF stand for. Una fight in arms some of them. Una know what we do. ADF are the only body we don't give resources for all other forces. We never ever receive any resources in return from any group. We fight with a nationalistic mindset. Any group will be prepared to fight to the Republic out. We don't give them resources. We don't give the RK resources. We don't give SWAT ambassador resources. We don't give Soka death resources. General I will don't spend material to down southern zone. Una know. Una know. You don't give me the con man. This liar, infiltrator. Where she don't swallow money more than 2 million and counting. They expose people that will be killed. They kill so that for ground. They chop on the money, kill so that for ground. And the can't continue to derail me, to lie for me. No agree. Now stay sharp. Now stay alert. They try to attack the backbone to this revolution. And we'll be able to say never to independence. We'll gain independence psychologically, spiritually, morally, economically, and we will gain ambassador. We'll take care of ourselves and our resources below the ground, above the ground, in the air, and in waters. And our resources now we talk, we speak it energetically, we make a beg, we fight, block by block, one by one. We go fall with sleeves and fight. The most important thing for ambassador is to move free to surface. We don't care about international recognition first. Somaliland exists on its own, really fine. Whether they will recognize you or not. You just will know, so we go fight this, we remove all this bastard out of territory. We go fight. Now, more firepower for ground. But we promise now one thing. We will make sure so we'll hinterland them, villages them, they'll be safe. We promise now one thing. Say the inner part of the territory will be safe. We will pop those tanks out of the land. We will talk just not joke. We see the bigger things than coming to come for them. And I want to talk so one thing. For like the Cameroon soldiers, we don't tell una. The ones that they force them that can fight. Una come. Una contact with ground forces, we unit them. Hand na material for them. We'll give una finances. Una go to Nigeria. Already, so we only do them. Una contact we. Hand na guns them. Hand na material for we. We'll find we give you money. We go you across. You can fight, die for thing way you don't know what you fight for. We know ever win. I want to remind una. Over 10 years, Russia entered Afghanistan. They run out of Afghanistan. America entered Afghanistan about 15 years ago. They don't achieve their objectives and they go out of Afghanistan. Before then, British don't go there. They stay over how many years? They don't achieve the objectives. They go out of it. America entered Vietnam. You don't succeed. Indonesia try for destroy and disrupt. How do you call them? East Timor. For how many years? They don't succeed. Britain fight for destroy for maintain operational enslavement for Kenya. For how many years? The Kenyatta and Jomo Kenyatta and the Mau Mau they fight till they beat the Brits, they go out. Make I want tell one thing. We don't really beat these people there. They be confused now. But I want tell now all these soldiers like the Cameroon. No look at what's in life. Una get life ahead of una. When they say una can't harm the material for we. They wanna go. Who with the one that they cannot beat people, they can't fight me. We will touch them. It's our land. We go move them. We get all solutions for them. We don't want to say anything. But I want to advise the one that they get their sense for like the Cameroon soldiers. With the force one can't fight you, they don't get no stake at hand. Why they show you drink champagne, you take money, chop up? Una come, una no one there, una just come. Una have no material for we. We go find una money, give una small money, direct una enter ground one. Not continue life to go una for day. If you don't waste your life, can't enter so you fight me. You go lost. The ones that don't even think that cops go them, they be fortunate. They are fortunate to have seen their cops. A lot of people don't die in authority, so dogs don't chop na cops. Animals don't chop na cops. A lot of una and continue for camp. I don't tell us when they come, you can't surrender on our guns. We'll find una money, give una find way una go na. So my brother already do them. They already surrender the hand and material, they leave. Make I tell una, so the people now for come. Una come. Una find way, just find use them. Hand and material for them. Go find money give for una find a way go now. Now can they fight, you don't know winner. Now advice get under for una. At time una plenty. We don't win these people them. And they try to play that psychological game, mind game, to undermine the backbone for this revolution. We'll speak unapologetically. The age of CAD, they're the backbone for the Amazonian War of Liberation. They're the backbone for this War of Liberation. When they talk, let's say they talk. Not small, no. Not fact. Now, continue to attack the man that about you. As an own one. But you know what? The more I throw attack, the more stronger they become. They only boost, they only give them more energy. Now work hard. The life of Cristiano will continue to expose your lives. Won't give you an opportunity to continue to derail people there. At time on Amazon, you stay sharp, razor sharp. We'll continue to expose these liars. You know, I go end this life again for play a national anthem. Now the ADF, they on the ADF command. When I hear even places in the way they don't open community schools. While ADF and the Ambazonian governing council, the territories, when think say we no mean good for una, we open community schools of the areas. We get areas we force the defender, the protector, carry a flag, sing anthem. But the people that they want to tell us say, they be against this revolution. Not think, not be stupid. So we'll end this life by playing our anthem. Then we'll continue to be vigilant. The likes of and liars, Trojan horses, infiltrators of this army. My end I will do anthem. So now people in this way, they create a nation of their own. They put the structure for ground, the ideology deeply seated in our people. And people, they can't lie on all time to be against the revolution. Nothing. I want to ask now the past years, we don't the fight. We don't always represent the entire territory from the 1st of October, the AGOVC and the ADF. But the same thing, they don't consistently attack. Nothing. Not allow the likes of these Trojan horses, infiltrators, the one sell now for 30 pieces of silver. Nothing. We are free. And there's nothing like the likes of this arm can do. Stay sharp, stay focused, don't blink, and we will continue to expose and shame the internal devils amongst us. Thank you, man. Let's stay resolute. Bye.
Good afternoon, fellow Ambazonians. Now, Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, I want to send out this short message as an initial reaction to the false allegation where this lady, a white lady called Cici Buckley, it make for ABC channel with Chris Anu. I want to reassure our people, say those allegations against the ADF and our Commander-in-Chief, Dr. Chu Lucas Ayaba, are all completely lies and made-up stories. That lady, she's not a neutral person, she's not a competent witness, and she's not a credible witness as far as those allegations or this our revolution is concerned. I want to remember Ambazonian people, they say that the same lady where Chris Anu be bringing for a platform for come inform the Ambazonian people, say the British government and its parliamentarians and politicians do not care about our history. Just for the next day, the next week there was a debate in the UK Parliament debating about our history. This woman, her organization, Global Justice Journal, is just a front for her to carry on her spy activity within our revolution. Disregard whatever she said. To imagine the allegations she's making that the B of La Republique is transferring weapons to the Ambazonia Defense Forces is just complete nonsense. The ADF have thousands of forces that are involved in our logistic, our procurement of weapons. There is no way such things would happen without any of them revealing it to the general public. We have all heard the World Bank report. There is nothing that is going to distract us from this fact. Remember that the World Bank report that have informed us that without any dispute that Chris Anu and his faction have been privately committed for a federal system. The organization of this lady, Global Justice Journal, we have also found documents where she has been pushing for a federal system. So she has a federal agenda with Chris Anu. No doubt she is welcome on that platform to spill out complete lies. Within this, our liberation struggle, we also have an emancipation campaign to inform our people and elevate them so that they should not just think that whatever a white person says is true without any facts, without any substantiation or evidence. This lady have offered us no evidence, and we are going to give a comprehensive report about what she had said. These people are trying to cover up and distract us from the World Bank report. Remember, the World Bank report was not meant to inform Ambazonians. It was meant to inform the international community about financial state of La Republique du Cameroon. But it has thus substantiate and reaffirm what we already know, that Chris Anu and his group have committed to work with Mr. Biya to bring about a federal system, which we believe is all a false hope Mr. Paul Biya is giving them, because he himself cannot be trusted. Disregard those allegations, they are false. The bureau, the security bureau, the intelligence bureau of the ADF will definitely give you more critical information about this lady, about the falseness of her accusation, and be rest assured, this Commander-in-Chief, Dr. Cho Ayaba, have no such communication with Ellie Smith, neither do he has this communication with this lady. The initial communication between both of them, the lady was quickly transferred to Cecilia Amabo, who handle humanitarian workers on the ground. So just keep your ears open for further information about this. But if Mr. Biya thinks that he is going to win this war or suppress us to continue to subjugate our people under the state of French Cameroon by using corruption, bribery, fake news and lies from white people, it will not work. The same Paul Biya had brought fake people, white people, to parade them on CRTV, stating that they were the members of Transparency International. It turned out that these people were all lies. White peoples are also liars. These are people who brought this system of colonialism to us in Africa that have been deemed to be a crime against humanity. So the only thing that lady have is her skin color, and it should be ignored by Ambazonians. Listen, keep on waiting for us on ACN. We are going to provide with you more information and detailed, credible information to debunk those fake news and lies that she has spewed on ACTV. God bless you all.
You know, really, really good. I really don't need to introduce him, but you know him, you've seen him, he believes in combat. I didn't hear you. Black guy! Put your hands together and welcome to
give up on yourself, your children, your country. You give up in hope. They took away from us our land, but they took away from us something more valuable. The right of every Ambazonian to hope. We surrendered as a people. They started repopulating our own cities. They robbed our treasures and built a large army, francophonized our own police forces, and made sure you worship them. They thought they defeated us. We rose again. They thought they took away our land. We refused to surrender. They thought they could kill us. Like Jesus rose from the dead, we Ambazonians rose again. For 56 years, they could not hold our land. They could not take away from us completely the ability to resist. Here we are, tens of thousands of miles away from the land of our birth. We're still fighting. We're still hoping that one day, just one day, we will be able to return to the land of our birth, claim it block by block, rooftop by rooftop, neighborhood by neighborhood. Build a system in which we can hope, we can believe, we can invest our treasures. Build an educational system that is going to turn our children into assets rather than liabilities. Build our infrastructures that can sustain our economy so you can live in Victoria, walk in Bamenda. You can fly and land in Tico. So you don't face the horror of Comrade Tabanyang to be deported in a foreign country. So you can land at the Bisongabang Airport, the Manfe Airport, the Tico Airport, the Bafut Airport. We don't fight for ourselves. You look into your faces, there's anxiety, sometimes hopelessness, but beyond the pain in your eyes, we have a vision of a better country for ourselves. Amen. And I can assure you from the depth of my heart, from the scars I bear on my body, from the pain they went through as human beings in the land of the oppressor, the pain of all those who sacrifice and keep sacrificing so that one day we may be free. Ambazonia shall be an independent country in which you shall be proud citizens, hold its passport, sing its anthem, worship its paraphernalia, and invest to make it a better place for your country and for your children. It starts today, Ambazonians. Be the primary investors for your own liberation so you can own its outcome. I know it's difficult. I know we squabble. I know there is no family without troubles. Believe in the goal. Every Ambazonian believes in independence, believes in a free country. Have hope. I am a soldier of the revolution. Be a soldier of the revolution. Think beyond America, think beyond the squabbles, and I can assure you, Ambazonia shall be free. God bless you all.
Attempted killing of General RK of the British Southern Cameroon Restoration Forces. My fellow Ambazonians, this is Dr. Cho Ayaba. Yesterday, the National Security Council of the Ambazonian Governing Council met in an enlarged session comprising of the executive of the AGOVC, the executive of the Defense Council, the policy chiefs, and the communication chiefs. We met to review the current trend of events as far as our war of independence is concerned. We took stock of the recent threats to our forces on the ground, the declarations made by Mr. Sako and his communications chief, Mr. Anu. We examine past events. For example, attempted killing of General RK of the British Southern Cameroon Restoration Forces, the kidnapping and disappearance of General Koraman, the conspiracy that led to the death of General Ivo. We took into account the incidents of Bui that led to the assassination of General Nginyam. We took into consideration the statement by Dr. Sako on the whereabouts of the 23 fighters of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and sister forces. We looked at their trend in terms of relationship with other movements, the impeachment of Seseko, the building of persistent conspiracies against Seseko. We took into consideration their declaration of war on the Ambazonian Defense Forces, the inspiring of tribalism from Lebialem, Bui, and Momo. We took into consideration the fact that the engineered civilian population to attack fighters. We also took into consideration the massive embezzlement of funds, public funds, collected to be directed to arm Ambazonians. We took into consideration other secret deals being done with the Swiss HD and the deep involvement of the Swiss HD in some of the activities that they are doing, and how those activities have emboldened the rhetorics of Mr. Sako and Mr. Chris Anu. We also took into cognizance the fact that there are several people working under them who are dissatisfied with all of these things and have been working extremely very hard to see that our forces can work together. We took into consideration the fact that these two men are the greatest problem that their own group face, and that within that group there are reasonable people with whom we can still work to build cohesion on the ground and at the political level. And the National Security Council decided that the declaration of these people as infiltrators and spoilers is consistent with all of the actions that they have been doing. Fellow Ambazonians, infiltrators are people planted in particular struggles to cause confusion, to cause in-house fighting for purposes that might be beneficial to them personally or beneficial to the opponent that we are fighting against. I want to remind every Ambazonian that I have been in this struggle for more than 30 years, and I have worked with infiltrators before. The first chairperson of the Southern Cameroon National Council, Barrister Ekontang Elat, after we had worked extremely very hard to mobilize our population, and we had reached the moment to enlarge the SCNC and transform it into the Constituent Assembly of Ambazonia to declare its independence in 1995. Cameroon used a pastor in Boya to infiltrate the movement and change the trajectory of where we were headed to. Barrister Ekontang abandoned the ship and left the country to the United States for purposes of head brain surgery. That is how the course was thwarted because of a leader who had acted like an infiltrator. It took us many more years we of the Southern Cameroon's Youth League needed within the council a formidable leader who believed in the argument of force and the force of argument. And we met, myself, Dr. Kwanga was there, late Dr. Yombang, late Chief Ayamba, late Pa Feko. We met in Boya and decided we were going to nominate late Ambassador Epie to take over the leadership. Little did we know that as we were meeting, other politicians were meeting to nominate Ambassador Fossong. And when we met in Boya to get a new leader for the council, the politicians won the day and Ambassador Henry Fossong became the chairperson of the SCNC and took the SCNC, which was the council for Ambazonia then, in the same direction of passivity and wasted time. At the end of the day, he became the president or the leader or the chairperson of the Boya University Parents Faculty Association that increased fees in the university. At that same time, when I opposed that PFA, it was under Ambassador Fossong that I was dismissed from the University of Boya. Fossong could not take the struggle further. We, again, the sacrificial generation, we took the struggle in a different direction. Late Pa Foncha called for a meeting between us and the SCNC to reconcile our differences and present a common program for our liberation. The SCYL went to that meeting with a blueprint for independence that clearly spelled out what we are supposed to do to free our people. The SCNC leadership came with nothing apart from the claim to power and the claim to the right to lead. We split from that meeting and moved our separate ways. We moved in to build the defenses, and that led to the arrest of Dr. Akwanga in March of 1997, the attack in Kumbo, Jakiri, Ye, and other places. From then, I began to live underground as a fugitive with Comrade Wana Benedict, who is now the chairperson of the Ambazonian Defense Council. I moved to Victoria, he moved to Mutengene, and we began on trying to rebuild the scattered forces. Myself and late Justice Ebong drove on a daily basis to Douala at the home of Dr. Yombang to hold meetings to see how we could revive the struggle, take it away from the hands of infiltrators and politicians. We moved from Dr. Yombang's house to the house of Pa Feko in Bonaberi. We held meetings there for a couple of weeks before transferring the meeting to Mutengene in the chambers of Barrister Bruno. We rebuilt the structures and we created a revolutionary council and nominated Justice Ebong as the head, Dr. Yombang as the treasurer. From there, we started planning on how to take Radio Boya to declare independence at the dawn of the new millennium. In June of 1998, myself and the defense chair, we jumped onto a ship at the port of Douala that took us 30 days to escape the country. From Germany, we worked tirelessly to project Ambazonia with demonstrations, meetings across Germany, across Europe. We rebuilt the institutions that had been scattered by people who thought they were entitled to power and who thought, you know, you could fight a Cameroon using the force of argument. While in Germany, we were still working with the ground leadership, and another infiltrator came into the helm of the struggle. That is Ndoki Mukete. He was pushed as the new chairperson of the SCNC. He traveled to Germany. We had a series of meetings. He went back and moved to become the chairperson for FECAFOOT, abandoned the struggle, sold out many ideas that we had worked on. Bringing you this history for you to understand why each time we identify infiltrators, each time we see the same signals and signs that we had seen before, we come across in a very strict manner to oppose them. Let me tell you something. If we fail in this revolution now, and we have to restart it 20 years again, many of you will oppose most of the things that you are accepting today, because you must have had the experience of living through them and experience of how they ended. It is this experience that informs sometimes the decisions we make. The experience of knowing politicians who infiltrate a struggle to hijack it for their own purpose. Experience of understanding when people do not understand what it will take to free a people. Experience of understanding when leaders do not understand what is at stake and what they need to do. These are the experiences that have guided actions that we have taken, that have informed our judgment. And in deciding yesterday to declare Sako and Chris Anu as infiltrators and spoilers, it is not only based on all of the things that they have done to derail our struggle, to cause infighting, to bring disrepute to our liberation struggle, to attack the integrity of others, to undermine others. Infiltrators do not coexist. Infiltrators want to govern and lead alone, so they can take every struggle in the direction they determine. So they can never be held accountable in terms of how they acquire and use funds. Those are typical characteristics of infiltrators. And they always like to be at the top, because it is from the top that they can derail. Remember, Agwabala navigated his way skillfully to the top to determine the direction. These are classical characteristics you must observe. Some people have claimed the egg of C and myself, we always want it our way, or we want to walk alone. No. The experiences I've given you of more than 30 years did not occur while we were at the top. I serve Barrister Elad. We left Moliko on a daily basis, moved to his home and hoisted the flag. I serve Ambassador Henry Fossum. I serve Justice Ebon. I serve Chief Ayamba. I served John Frundi. I even spent time guarding him in 1992 when he was under house arrest. I stayed there for weeks. So all of these experiences have not been gathered when we were at the top. Even now, we are not still at the top. We consider ourselves as servants, vanguard of this revolution. Because we have been vanguard in the past 30 years when infiltrators captured the helm of our struggle and decided they were going to mortgage it for their own personal gains. Remember Simon Munzu, that was the spokesman of the SCNC, who defended the SCNC. And when an opportunity showed itself for an international position, he changed his direction. They always want to be at the top. They always want to speak for everyone. Coexistence for them is unacceptable, because coexistence means ideas are debated, directions are determined by collective consensus. I want to address this to all forces of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and forces that collaborate with the Ambazonian Defense Forces. We have learned in the past days that Mr. Sako, they have given orders for people to attack you. I have passed instructions to the defense and to our commanders. ADF camps are military zones. No one gets 1 kilometer close to an ADF camp. Not any sister force, not a civilian. Any civilian population engineered to use itself as a weapon against our forces defending the flag and the anthem will be considered as a military force and we will exercise, our forces will exercise the right to defend themselves. ADF forces on the ground must take every measure wherever they are to protect our population, to defend themselves, and take defensive and offensive action against any threat to their position that undermines them and consequently undermines the defense of our country. At the political level, we will pursue these guys, expose them, banish them from the body politics of our war of independence. In most countries, embezzlers of public funds that undermine the lives of people will be sentenced to death. And this is what these two men, Sako and Chris Anu, they merit. Ambazonians, revelations are coming out every day on their activities. You have not even heard or listened to half of what they have done to harm our revolution. If we were not well armed, La Republique would have defeated us. We were destroyed before by infiltrators because we couldn't defend ourselves. The only reason they have not succeeded now is because we were wise. From the beginning, we went to arm our people. It has been difficult for La Republique to defeat us because of those arms. It has been difficult for the infiltrators to defeat us because of those arms. And that's why you must commit to arming the people to defend the freedom, the independence declared and restored. Fellow Ambazonians, infiltration is as old as revolutions. Ours is not unique. It is not trying to undermine others. You have seen what has happened to our collective endeavors. You have seen how soldiers, generals have been kidnapped, they have been killed, they've been blackmailed, their sacrifices undermined for the sole interest of a few. The quest for money, the quest for their own individual survival. They have nothing to lose. They cannot tell you of any of their relations, their friends, or people they know who've lost their lives. If they had one, they would have respected our war of independence. It would have been personal. For them, it is some abstract struggle for independence. For us, it is about our existence. God bless Ambazonia.
Unanimously passed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Universal Declaration was an instrument to maintain justice and order in a world shattered with war and oppression. So we have come here today on the 10th of December in front of the embassy of La Republique du Cameroon, the most corrupt country in the world, the most oppressed country in the world. We have come to protest. Today, we are assembled again and we are standing far away from the oppressive embassy. The embassy has been surrounded by the German police. Do you want me to say the German police and the German state is playing a conspiracy role here or what? Why should Germany and why should the German police allow the embassy staff to use video cameras and audio cameras to film the protesters? Have they not learned from history? We will continue this struggle until freedom will reign for our people. We will never surrender because our cause is a just one. Wonderful. Wonderful. This letter to the embassy that was accepted by the police, so we want to do that.
One person or two? Three persons, yeah.
Ich habe mit einem Mitarbeiter der Botschaft gesprochen. Man erklärt sich bereit, diese Note dann am Zaun entgegenzunehmen. Ja? Wen möchten Sie denn da haben? Möchten Sie da jemand Bestimmtes haben?
The ambassador will be okay.
Der wird das persönlich nicht entgegennehmen. Es wird ein Mitarbeiter der Botschaft an den Zaun herantreten und das dann von Ihnen entgegennehmen und dann zum Botschafter weiterbringen.
Yes, the one. Ist dann abpassiert?
Jetzt ist der hier. Wir haben vereinbart, dass wir das hier am Zaun abgeben. Das haben wir gerade drüben abgesprochen. So mit in Ordnung für das dann machen.
Let's do it. Come out. No, let's do it. It's okay. No problem. We have this prisoners that your government is keeping in jail. We're not allowed because the camera is. Yes, I would like you to give it to your ambassador, your representative of the PR regime. Okay? Okay.
So what was the main purpose of this demonstration? To calm down the government?
And no,
At ACN TV, your lies will be crushed, your narrative will be buried, and your revised and distorted history will be exposed. ACN TV, focused, uncensored, undiluted.